Hi guys, Ozhound here, and this is episode 17 of my server play series 2 for All the Mods mod pack. I have made a bit more use of this area up here. I've cleared out an area in preparation for my Draconic storage energy setup. What I'm going to do, I've already got some energy core stabilizers here, so that's cool. But what I do need is an energy core, and that requires Wyvern cores, which requires a nether star, a draconic cores, 2 or 4 per Wyvern core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have any nether stars at this stage, so that's going to be a bit tricky. Then another 2 for 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, the Wyvern core is going to be a bit of an issue because I don't have a nether star. I guess I need to kill a wither. So I've got plenty of soul sand. I've got any wither skulls. Got plenty of wither skulls. Now my problem is I don't have anywhere to put him. So what I might do is to quickly make up a shield system from RF Tools. We need, what do we need? We need some of these templates for sure. A shield projector, tier 1 will be fine. Then we will need redstone. No, I need a lever to switch it on. But most importantly, we need the shield templates. Glass. I'm always running out of glass. What I need to do is to create, missing all the sand. Well, that's not very good. Sand, because I have sand, and my sand is over here. One thing I've noticed with the storage buses is that you have to clear the config settings every now and again for them to actually work, to pick up on the storage drawers. So now I've got sand there. So now I can produce my glass. But I can only produce 64 at a time because with the storage drawers it only recognises 64 at a time. So that should be smelting down now. And I'll get the rest of this stuff set up and we'll be back. Okay guys, we're back and I have got my first nether star along with a rare shader grabag, which I'm assuming is used for some of the high level immersive engineering stuff. But yeah, so I'll just go through this quickly, just fill these in. I made 2 shields here, getting followed by something. Shield generator down there, which is basically has this running continuously as a solid, always solid block. And as the top shield, what I've done, I've set this to a solid damage. Hostile matches hostile mobs, so that means that anything that's hostile that tries to walk through the shield will get stopped by the shield and also will get damaged. But me being friendly or player, I do not take damage. So let's just spawn another wither to show you guys it working. Wither, turn the shield on. And now he will just take damage. He's taking damage a bit faster than the last one actually. He must have pushed into the shield. See how he sort of heads in the shield? So that's pretty cool. I want to automate it too, so I can just get a farm up to create the withers and then just spawn and kill them over and over again. Right, he's dead. And I've got my second nether star. I wonder what this is actually used for. Recycling. That's good. Right. Okay, so that's our wither spawner. Now I've got my nether star, I can finish making my wyvern core. Draconic. And you only ever need one of these, so that's pretty cool. Don't need power, put my extra nether star away. Okay, so we've got our energy core, we've got our 4 energy core stabilizers. Now when we place down I was going to say which tier do we want to go for, but we need to place these items down first. One, these aren't required, it's just there for me to sort of map out the area where it needs to be. Now, as per the manual, these energy core stabilizers can be anywhere within 16 blocks of the central energy core. And it's better to keep it quite far out if you intend on actually having one of the bigger tier cores, because they do take up a lot of space when you get up to the bigger units. So what we've got here is core is valid, stabilizer is valid, so I can activate this straight onto a tier 1, which will hold the 50 million power. So if I activate that, now I've got a nice little energy core, and I'll make this area all pretty and stuff like that. But I don't want to stop at tier 1. I don't want 45 million storage. I want more. So we'll deactivate that. We'll activate the build guide and we'll tier up, which requires, now this requires 1, 2, 3, 9. Is it 9? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draconic blocks. So let's get some of those wirelessly, of course. It looks like I'll have to go down there because I need another block. Six. So we follow the guide. And put one on top, but I can't fly. And we can no longer get to the core to click on it, but you can actually right click on the stabilizers here and that will tell you. So now we can hold 273 million. It's growing a bit in size. Still looking pretty flash. While it's, yeah, I think if I'm not sure if I actually deactivate it, it'll lose power, but what we'll do, we'll create the next, basically the energy pylon, which allows you to transfer power in and out of the unit. So what we need to do is to make one. So this is as expensive as the last one. We want some glass as well. Don't need more than that, but in any event. So similar to the energy core stabilizers, you can put these anywhere within 16 blocks of the core. The only caveat is that if you're putting it below the energy core stabilizer, the glass has to go on top to form a connection. You can see the particle effects means that it's now connected. If it is above, if it is above the energy core stabilizers, it needs to be on the bottom. So now we've got what can effectively be an input and output if you really wanted to. I did put those away, so let's get some more conduits. And just have them run along here. So now that's transferring hopefully bucket loads of power into the core. So we've got already almost 5 million RF in there. It's transferring at 20,000 RF per tick, which is the limitation of these conduits. I think that if we put if I put another one on the side here, if it'll transport out of here. Okay, so now we're transferring 32,000 RF per tick. And I believe that, I'll check it, that's what the maximum output is of that particular solar. 25,000. So it's actually pulling, it looks like it's pulling energy out of here as well. So output 24,000. Yeah, so we're draining energy from our capacitors here. Right. So I'm up 2 minds here. I don't know whether I'm going, if I could split those two and just have that solar panel charging this and then feeding the rest of the base. Have this as an output and that as an input, or just have this one outputting. So it's down to 20,000 now because the sun's gone down. Let's fix that. Hopefully I don't get stuck in my bed. Cool. Last time I slept, I got stuck in the bed and I had to kick myself. Okay, so let's see what's involved in the next tier. Tier up. Active. So we need to surround it with another, what's that? 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 blocks. So 20 times 9 is what, 180? 180 draconium. And I've got a grand total of 8. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go out with my digital miner and see if I can grab some more. But tier 3 is, I think it's the last, no, I can go up to tier 4. Tier 4 is the last tier. Yep, so you need to put redstone in there, and then you need to have the draconium blocks on the outside. So that actually uses less draconium, I think. So 9 6s are what, 54. That might be a better option instead of using. No, that's not right. No, I need more draconium, definitely. And from there you can go up to your next tier and see how your stabilizers are now become invalid, because you need the advanced stabilizers, which means you need 9 of these on each pillar, and the advanced stabilizers are these round ones here. And from there up is tier 6. See how it's getting bigger and bigger? That's 2 away, that's 1 away. So tier 6 is basically all I can support in here without actually moving these out a bit further. Tier 6, I can move that one back. That's alright. That's alright. I might actually move that one back now because that's too close. That requires, as you can see, a bucket load of redstone. So 8. Wow. So that, yeah, this is awakened draconium, I believe, which actually needs to be charged in the fusion crafting. So you're converting normal draconium blocks into awakened draconium blocks, and it takes 350 million RF to convert 4 to 4, and you need to kill the Chaos Dragon to be able to get the heart from him. So we won't be doing that anytime soon, although that's something that I would like to. But it looks like that this configuration here, unless that might not work, but yeah, tier 7 is basically what my current setup will support by the looks. So I want to go to tier 4, which means I need get my calculator out here. So I've got 9 on each side, and there are 6 sides. That's 54 draconium blocks times by 9 ingots, 486 minus what I've already got, divided by 9. So I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 1, take 6 times by 9. So I need 288 blocks of draconium. So I will get those and then I will be back. But in the meantime, I will reactivate this. Oh, yep, it holds your remembers how much power you've got in there, so that's cool. Alright, we'll be back when I get some more draconium. Okay guys, like I said before, there's been a couple of guys on the server that have been playing a lot and making custom dimensions. So I said before I needed draconium, I'm just going to go and visit the draconium dimension. It's gold, there's shards, lapis, redstone, infinite days where they have all their tier 4 solar panels. glowstone, emeralds, nether quartz, diamonds. So effectively any of the higher end ores we have got a dimension that we can go into and mine from. And this one looks like I need flight. That should be alright, I should just be able to jump down here. Set up my digital miner. I'm going to stand on this because I don't know if it's going to mine. It'll mine it to and won't replace it. So I don't want it to mine the block that I'm standing on and then myself fall into the void. So these dimensions cost a lot of money, a lot of power to run, to start up and run. But once they're running, they're a little bit cheaper to maintain. But as you can see, I've already got 200, 300 draconium dust. So I want to just fill this. I think it's a bit cheaty, to be honest. I mean, we're doing it legitimately with legitimate machines and dimensions, but yeah, it is a bit cheaty. Okay, we are full. Let's stop this. And let's go home. Now what we're going to do is smelt all this. Let's get it out of the miner first. So we'll smelt up some of that and then we'll come back when that's done. Okay guys, I noticed that my capacitors were completely drained and this sphere was relatively full. So by right clicking the sphere on top of these energy pylons, you just switch between export. So this is receiving power from external and this is exporting power. So this should now be too far away, I can see it. You can see the power on the top left is actually increasing, which is what I want to have happen. So I want the power to come in through this sphere at the top and to be distributed to the rest of the system down here, which is what we need to, because you can't have input and output on the one energy pylon. But that all finished, that all been set up, we should have, I've already got 19 draconium blocks made up. I've got, there we go, more than enough. I think we only needed 32. So let's just put some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just want to put some more into the SAG, into the alloy smelters. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. To continue to create. Yep, so let's shut this down, deactivate, tier up, and turn the guide back on. So now we can go, might turn the guide off actually because it does get a little bit intrusive sometimes. So all I'm doing is making a square of blocks around here. But that's not what I want. We wanted to go up again, didn't we? Because we needed redstone. Tier up again, tier 4. So the core has to be surrounded by redstone blocks, which is 9 plus 9, 18 redstone blocks plus another 8. So that should be 26. redstone blocks. Don't know if we've got blocks of redstone. Oh, heaps. Okay, so let's turn this guide off. Let's get rid of these. So now we're going to put redstone around here. Get my scaffolding out. I'll show you a cool trick with the scaffolding too, why I like it so much, is that you can actually just, once you've got one piece down, you can left click on the side and it just builds it straight up. So now we can, and you can climb it as well, which is very cool. So now we just put the remaining blocks on. I'll leave that there. Right, so redstone's in the right spot, and then just on the outside of those we want our draconium. Oh god. And the best thing about these things, if you build quite a large base, all you do is you take out the bottom one and the rest of them fall down. That's why I like it so much. Okay, so activate. 9.88 billion RF. Yeah, I don't think I'll have a need to upgrade that anytime soon. Now, as I mentioned before, this is in preparation for the mechanism fusion reactor I want to make, which is a lot more complicated than what this was, because I need to go down the path of creating liquid lithium, then lithium, and then XT fuel and different types of fuel from mechanism. So if we have a look at that, at mechanism, we do need there's gas tanks here. We do need DT fuel, need tritium and deuterium. So that'll be interesting, and to get that stuff we need to have several of the evaporation, solar evaporation plants, same as the ones that we've already made for the brine down here. So I'll have to create a few more of these and get them running. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've actually set up the AE network onto here. So this is just an import bus, just pulling the resultant ingots out of here straight into the AE network, as opposed to going through the Ender IO conduits before and then dumping into this chest and then getting pulled into the system. But you just saw a bit of string there. That's because this is the storage crate that interfaces between all the other items that are using Ender IO to input into the system and the rest and the AE network. What I've done here, I've put in iron ore, gold ore, and all the other stuff that gets broken down by the mechanism dissolution chamber. So that's just going to keep feeding that with gold until the system runs out of gold, and then it will move on to the next one. So like I said to you before, one capacity card unlocks the 4 points here, and then the next one unlocks the whole lot. But interestingly enough, when you unlock the last capacity card, it gives you this option here. And what this does, scheduling mode, so export the first item until the network is empty, and then try the next ones. Or it's got round robin as well, which is pretty cool. So it'll do a gold, then an iron, then an osmium, which is an option, but I've just chosen to start with gold and then go through. And then you've got a random mode one as well. So that's an interesting concept. It's similar to the Ender IO's round robin system, but instead of distributing it to several different machines, it goes through and selects the different type of block that you want to insert into this particular machine, or whatever machine you've got it hooked into. So that's just going through and processing all my ores, pulling out of the system, and it's going to take a very long time because there are a lot of ores in here. If I go sort by number, so you got 4,900 iron, 3,800 copper. There's heaps. in here. Another thing I want to show you too, I wanted to get some matter balls, because you might have noticed in my inventory I've got this color applicator, and you see I've got different colors of cables with AE. If you're not familiar with it, you don't necessarily have to use these cable anchors to split networks. What you do is you paint the cables a different color, and they won't connect to each other if they're sitting side by side. They will, however, connect. A painted will connect to an unpainted Fluix, dense glass or smart cable. If it's two separate colors, they won't connect to each other. So that's another way to separate and actually work on identifying your network. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the Draconic energy storage system set up and going. I will, in between episodes, I'll probably make this a bit pretty. Put some nice curves and stuff in there from the architecture craft mod, and I'll clean it up and we'll come back. So guys, that's the episode finished. Thanks for watching. Ozhound signing out. See you next time. Ciao.